All right, so pretty simple cheese platter. We've got cauliflower gluten-free crackers. I can't remember what these were. These were like some sort of flour, egg, and some other binder. Tapioca flour.
Yeah.
And then these are garlic parmesan crisps. Just fuck it. These are rosemary little flatbread crackers. You can get them at any Whole Foods. These like Cars does a variety. Does a cracker like assortment, but they didn't have that at the Whole Foods we had dropped by, so I just grabbed the 365 organic.
What
so,
are the cookie type things?
Oh, so these are actually closer to like graham crackers, but they're not nearly as sweet. So like they are just sort of like they are still a cracker. They're not cookies. They're just like a little bit more leavened. This is sort of like a multi-grain, similar. This is like a butter round, and these are sort of like cracked pepper like water crackers.
Okay.
All right. Cheeses, we have Pave du Nord, which is sort of like the French's response to cheddar, which is why it's got that like deep annatto color. Really like beautiful orange. It's if you've ever had Mimolette, it's similar to that. Mimolette's by far one of my favorite cheeses. It's a little bit different. Essentially, I think Mimolette's got a little bit more flavor, but this one is still like a very like mild, nutty, sort of like smooth aged cheese.
Should we be tasting
it's hard.
while you're
I
describing?
mean, we can get there if you want. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Give a little try while you're actually
Go for it.
describing. Okay.
Yeah. You want some stuff?
No, I'm filming.
All right.
All right,
cool.
I get the nutty thing.
Yeah. You see, it's very similar to like a cheddar. I prefer Mimolette because it's actually a lot smoother and like all of the flavors blend together in a lot more neater ways. But Pave du Nord literally means paving stone of the north. So this is Tom, which is there's a couple ways to make it, but generally it's made with skim milk. The like leftovers after you take all the cream out for like a normal cheese, they make Tom. From like it's from the French and Swiss Alps generally. I like it a lot. It is like it's sort of like a relative Swiss. But it's got a pretty unique like flavor.
So why did you choose these cheeses?
One, they looked interesting. Two, I know Pave du Nord is good. Same with Mimolette. I know I'll get to these in a minute, but I know Tom is an interesting flavor profile, and it's just sort of like fun, but it's also like not super like weird and funky like a blue or like a Limburger. So like there's that. This is a 12-month Manchego, so 1 year. So Spanish sheep's milk cheese. Because it's a year, it is particularly hard. You can actually see some of the oil like coming out of it already. But
We love Manchego.
it's super flavorful.
Manchego house.
Manchego. Yeah, I don't need to talk about that. This is one of my top 5 cheeses of all time, and will always be. And it's called Drunken Goat.
Drunken Goat.
Yep, it is a washed rind cheese, and it is made with goat's milk. And what they do is, unlike most washed rinds, this one is washed with wine, hence the Drunken Goat, and hence the purple color.
Red.
Yep. It's a super like, it's super soft. It's very neat and like it is for a cheese. Cheese, it's almost like a clean flavor.
Very mild.
It's very interesting and it's very subtle and it's delightful.
It is.
So what
It's
I did,
delightful. I'm
Yeah.
attesting to the fact that it is in fact delightful.
so of all of these, I went for sort of like standbys, things that are a little bit either a little bit more like subtle and mild, or a little bit like a little bit punchy in like a normal way. This is probably the standout like funky one here. This is one of the soft ripened cheeses, a la like Brie or Camembert. But the style of this is such that it is far creamier. And the way you eat it is actually, it's important to note, what you see here is not actually the rind of the cheese. That is spruce bark that it's been wrapped in. And
So what is the name of this?
so it doesn't necessarily have like an actual name. There's just like a couple of people that make this style of cheese, and it's called the soft ripened cheese. And Brie is from Brie, and Camembert is from Camembert, which is why they have their name.
So we can name this cheese.
No,
I think this cheese is Steve.
So this is from Harbison Cellars, and their I did a little bit.
Can't
of
go there
research.
with you.
I can't go there.
I did a little bit ahead of time, and it's the Air Hill creamery that they have, where they started this style. I know this style from, I think I had the Harbison Cellars once, but there is at my local Whole Foods in Chicago a variety of this that is aged for quite a long time. I think it's around I think it's 18 months or something like that. That is, or no, it's 18 weeks, I think, which is very similar, and it's made at a Wisconsin creamery that is fucking incredible. It is amazing, and one of the things about this is no, you don't cut it.
You don't cut
You
it?
don't cut it.
Put your knife away, man.
Put it away. Put it away. With this, you quite literally scoop it out with your
Ooh.
cracker because it is so incredibly creamy.
It assist you.
And what it's important to note is that when you get this, you
Ooh.
cut off the top of it, and it there's still a little bit of firm stuff on the top that I maybe should have stripped
So it's
off.
got
but,
it's got the rind like this on the top,
Yeah.
and you have to cut that off.
exactly. So, but if you look at it and you squeeze it, it literally is just sort of this buttery, soft, cheesy goo that it doesn't sound the most appetizing, but then you eat it.
Going for the buttery, soft, cheesy goo,
It's super salty, and
which is a
rich
good name
and-
actually for a cheese.
Yeah, it's just. It's got it is
Oh.
buttery and salty, and it ends on a bacon flavor. It's just sort of
Bacon.
It does. It's got a bit of that.
yeah. It's just it is incredibly rich, and you can actually if you zoom come over here real quick, and you can actually see some of the texture of this
Buttery, soft, cheesy
you
goo.
can literally just sort of push it around with it is so
Quite
soft.
buttery, soft, and gooey.
It's
cheesy.
incredibly delicious, and this is I wouldn't just call it a centerpiece, but it is I think kind of this style of cheese is going to be one of my anchors for most cheese
That
boards.
is really awesome. If you could just continue to film until this is gone, I would appreciate that.
No, because I'm gonna have some in a minute. So
Yes.
we gotta wrap this up a bit.
Wrap it up, baby.
I don't know that I can film and partake.
I believe in you.
You really?
You're an adult. I hope.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
Hey, let me have it. Turn this around so you get the reaction shot.
No, I am the filmer.
Yeah.
You're for whoever's watching this, you're missing on a grimace of enjoyment.
A grimace of enjoyment.
A grimace is
Not everyone uses grimace
almost
in that context.
orgasmic.
I mean, if that's what that looks like, all right.
Next, cheese.
I mean, no, that's all.
That was it. That's all the cheese.
It's not a particularly large.
Talk about your wine, your Sicilian red wine.
Ah.
That wine rocks.
So it's from the it's the DOC of Etna, in Mount Etna, the
Yes,
active
the volcano. I've
in
been there.
Sicily. Yeah, I really want to go there because this is one of my favorite wines of all time. It
Well,
is,
let's go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be all for that.
The
But-
Manchego, man. The Manchego.
All right. But so yeah, and also it's it's tart. It's not super it's not heavy. It doesn't coat your mouth in the way a Cabernet might, but it's it's a little watery, but the flavor is just sort of constant. It's a little dry, but it's super fruity and particularly not necessarily sour grapes, but it has the tartness that you really like in a good dry fruity wine to really bring it forward.
It's a big wine.
Yeah, that.
It's so good.
It's so nice.
It might be my favorite
It makes
red
me very
ever.
happy.
It is
Yeah.
eminently drinkable.
Because I don't like.
Eminently
I
drinkable.
tend to go for the sweet wines, but this is not sweet.
Yeah.
It's big and
It's,
fruity.
yeah. I think you might like the Nebbiolo because the Nebbiolos, the Nebbiolo I got, which is I think it's also a Barbera mix. I think it's 25% Barbera, 75 or something like that. Nebbiolo
Because
is
we
a
all
very,
know what that means.
Well, the Barbera,
Particularly
and
grape.
Barbera and Nebbiolo are two varieties of grape.
Here, I'm putting a close up on
So the
your Hollywood face.
Nebbiolo is a exceptionally dry grape, and the primary flavor that I look for in a Nebbiolo wine is dirt and soil. But one of the things that comes with that is very often this very intense fruit forward flavor that is like underlined and like wrapped by that like dirt and like I like it a lot. I think you might like it, but if not, we have the Educated Guess, which is a
I'm all for it.
Napa Cabernet.
Try all of them. You might want to go for like loamy or something rather than dirt.
No, it's like
it's dirt.
It really like
You mean adjust the vocabulary
Yeah.
for his
Like,
wine and
my-
cheese tastings?
Yeah.
my favorite my favorite Nebbiolo wines. Very much like you take a sip of them and you're like, I feel like I just took a bite out of like a grape that someone like dipped in a garden.